God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Coochies are pink, booty holes are brown, my skin is light, but my comedy is dark. Welcome to another episode of Life is Funny, where me, a retired stand up comedian, talk about the funny things that I find in life, whether it's my life, your life, or life out on these internet streets, man. I swear that opening line, that's one of the few things that I miss about doing stand up. Um, Once again, I wish I'm not even gonna try to wrap my brain too hard to think about when I came up with that line. It definitely was after um, Sexy Red hit the scene. Um, yeah, we're. I think she got a single out now, but Ski Yee and what was the other one? Pound Town. There we go. Those are her two highs, and she'll never top those two. Nah, that ain't happening. Sorry. Um, but yeah, just that line right there, and just being able to um, just break the ice starting out, because when it comes to stand-up comedy, when you're coming up there, it's awkward to just when I was thinking about just to start talking or trying to tell jokes or say hi to the crowd or something like that. But you're engaging the crowd, you're waking them up, you're making them feel like they're participants, um, in your act. You're kind of like the maestro of um, of what's about to go down, whether you're doing 5 minutes or 30 minutes or hour long set. You want to be in control of your mic, and you want to be in control of the crowd. And that's an art. I remember one time I was at, where was I at? It was in Atlanta. It was Tropicana, I think was the name of it. Was it Tropicana? But it was like the nigga part of Gwinnett. Peachtree Corners, there we go. That part of Gwinnett. And there's one dude doing his open mic. He ended up handing over his mic to um a crowd member, or yeah, audience member. And I was like, "Fuck, you don't ever give up your mic. Never." Yeah, that was not an easy mic, because I remember that was the one where there was this one black dude. He was like, "Man, I'll slap the shit out of you." And I was like, "No, you won't. Because for one thing, I'll call the police, and I'll use my white name. I'll use a white voice. They'll be here so quick, it'll make your head spin. And then then they are, arrest you. And then if they shoot you, then I'll just, I'll show up to the Black Lives Matter rally for you." But speaking of Black Lives Matter, just rolling through the TikTok before I hopped on here, and I saw that what was his name? Sean Grayson was the cop. I forgot in what state or city or whatever it was, but he shot old girl Shawnee Massey in the face, and that was the case where two cops showed up to a black woman's home. She called in about a possible disturbance, or like maybe some people around her house or something like that, and um and then she was at over by her stove, and um the one cop, uh Officer Grayson or whatever, he was like kind of the one leading the situation, but he told her to back away from the stove. And basically, I think she had the way it was, old girl, I should, once again, I wish I had game tape to show y'all, but she had a pot of hot water, and she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Satan." Yeah, no, she said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And then he was like, "What?" And then it led to him feeling like he needed to shoot her in the face, like shot her, I think 3 times or whatever. I'm like, damn, dog. But when I watched the video, I was like, there was some clear mental health issues going on there. Whether it was schizophrenia or something, some sort of paranoia on the part of the black woman. And even with the cop, because I'm all like, it's like, why should that bother you? What's going on with you, man? But hey, justice was served. Of course, people are saying that he should have done life or something like that. But I'm like, bro, that's not gonna be easy. 20 years, dog. I wish I had the state in front of me of where he's be serving at, and then see how many of them 20 that he got to do. And yeah, he need to go ahead and team up with the Aryans, man. Because the brothers, oh man, that's gonna be a hard for him. Even a team up with the Aryans. Yeah, one, he's a cop, and two, he shot a black woman, man, without even really being provoked. But I didn't hear the argument that his lawyer had. Like, I guess he felt like he was threatened. Man, these scary ass cops. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you scary, you don't need to be holding a firearm, or just, you don't need to be a cop, because you're going to come across so many scary moments, especially depending on what you're doing. Like, if you're not being a cop in one of them towns, it's like a country club or something like that. Yeah, you're gonna deal with some shit. But yes, all right. So you got that. So then, speaking of 20 years, I just saw that another case. Like I said, I'll be watching all these cases on TikTok. Isaiah Ross out of North Carolina. They just hooked him up with 20 years, 240 months minimum, 300 months maximum, in the murder trial of Devin. I don't know his last name, but then I think the young lady was Lyric Wood. So, well, not allegedly anymore. Basically, the jury said that Isaiah killed Devin, and then there was a mistrial on Lyric. And you could look up the details of the case, but pretty much like it was. And when I first heard it, because of course I'll be on TikTok, and the whole I'm not a lawyer, but woman, she'll bring up these cases, and it was interesting to me because Isaiah was facing life in prison for he was facing they wanted him to plead guilty to two I think first degree murder. And he was facing 2 life sentences for the killings of 18-year-old Devin and 14-year-old Lyric. And so I'm like, man, what? I was like, hold on, this one. I was like, he got some balls. You over there, facing 2 life sentences, and you over there, want to take it to trial. All right, buddy, man, your lawyer must have told you something, or you definitely knew the truth of what happened. And so basically what happened was Devin, he was basically fucking around with Lyric, and he wanted to go pick her up. He wanted somebody to pick him up to go pick up Lyric so he can go get some pussy. That's pretty much what it would have come down to. And 18 and 14 sounds rather nasty now in today's times versus whereas my grandma had her first kid at 13. So there's that. And but yeah, 18 and 14. And so he was looking for a ride, was in the group chat, came across Isaiah, who he knew from school, and some typical teenage shit. Isaiah, took his mom's car, goes, picks up Devin and Lyric. Well, picks up Devin, then goes to get Lyric. For whatever reason, Devin got a gun. And so, pick her up. And so the agreement was in the, when Devin made, set everything up, Isaiah was all like, hey, yo, I'm going to fuck. And because you drove us, you providing transportation, you going to get some pussy too, or some mouth or whatever. And so um, they get out there. Devin and Lyric, they do their thing. And then when it was time for Lyric to give up that mouth or that pussy or whatever, she was like, "Nah, nah, you ain't, I ain't like that or whatever, yada yada yada." And so Devin and Lyric end up getting into an argument. Next, somehow, some way, according to Isaiah, Lyric gets shot and killed. And then I guess Devin and Isaiah, they get into a scuffle or whatever. And somehow, some way, Devin gets shot and killed. Isaiah drags the bodies to the side of the road, leaves the scene. Trying to think what else. Goes get gas, damages his mama's car. Mom gets mad. He tries to go to Delaware to go live with his dad, because he's like, the block is hot, and he gets arrested and stuff like that. My question was like, well, they were able to, find the hung jury on with Lyric's murder, and which I was listening to the trial or the case or whatever snippets from it, I was like, yeah, he's most likely gonna get. He's not gonna get found guilty on that charge, but when it comes to Devin, they gonna get him on something. And I was hoping like the options were first degree murder, which is not like, nah, this second degree murder, and then manslaughter. And I was hoping they would have just hooked him up with manslaughter. Nah, they got that nigga with second degree murder. So the max was 300 months. And the minimum was 240 months. It's 12 years. You can do the math on all of the stuff. But my thing was like, they was trying, even though he was 18 when this crime was committed, and then the trial was when he was about 22. I felt like they were looking at him as, it was already getting charged as like a grown man, but they were looking at him like a grown man versus a kid. Like, come on down, dog. They was doing kid shit. And one of them kids, for whatever reason, had a gun. But it was funny. Once again, Lyric's parents had to find out that their daughter's a hoe in court. I don't know, maybe they knew. Or maybe they didn't find out to the court case. And then Devin's mom was all like, my baby was a gentle giant and stuff like that. I was like, yo, baby was pimping out this little girl. And then felt the need to go over there and have a firearm with him. So, hey, gotta love it. Nah, my mama, shit. She be like, that nigga did that shit. That's the type of mom I have. I love my mom, but she would have been like, that nigga is guilty. Oh man, that's the kind of awareness that my mom has. But it's like, yeah, you don't know what your kids out here doing. Yeah. I remember when I got arrested the first time. My mama made me bail myself out. Yeah, they picked me up from jail, and they got to the police station, and were like, "Yo, where's his debit card at?" And then they went in, and then they were like, "Hey, what's his PIN?" It asked me what the PIN number was, and I having to bail myself out. Man, cold world. Love you, mama. What else we got in the news? Good old the block is hot with ice. Hold on, what's it? I don't know. They basically they murdered somebody else. Well, I want to say they murdered somebody else. With the pretty guy. And my question is to the victim, to the man that was murdered. It's like, why are you showing up to a rally or a protest with a firearm when you're coming up to other people with a bunch of fire? I know he was licensed to carry and all that. You know, he had the right to carry that weapon, but come on, dog. come on, man, bruh. That's how he got his life taken. Because, like, when you're showing up to stuff like that, everything's already high intensity. Everything's elevated. There's a bunch of adrenaline. Any little thing can set somebody off. And so him showing up with a firearm is just like, it's not helping the situation. Like, how are you going to stop these people from doing their job? Because they're going to do their job. And as long as they're mandated by higher up to do this job, they're going to do their job. It's like, why are you stopping somebody from doing their job? And it's all like, come on, man. Like, people gotta, it's nasty all around, but people gotta start using, I do say people need to start using their brains and their heads, but it's all like, I'd be like, what kind of brain and head, what kind of brain was put in your head to show up? Like, bro, it's just you and a pistol. What are you gonna do? It was wild, man. Yeah, they murdered that dude, dog. They took the pistol off of him. Well, yeah, they were like, hey, he's got a gun. Yeah, took the pistol off of him and capped his ass. I guess maybe somebody saw another gun, and they thought maybe, you know, if he's got one, he's got to have two or three. And in the moment, they thought he was a threat. But I was like, bro, he wasn't a threat. But hey, they thought he was. I wasn't there. But yeah, he popped him. One dude popped him like 3-4 times. The other one, like, was some Soldier Boy stuff. Other one like, pow, 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 pow. And then you got the lady taking the video. Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh man, here we are. I'm enjoying watching the 2026 reality show. From a distance. I'm not talking about no Mexican politics, because one, I don't know the language well enough, and two, I don't know the landscape well enough. I ain't trying to get snatched up for shit. I am very much aware of that free speech shit. That only flies so far in the United States, man. You step outside the country, no. I will tell y'all that. I will let y'all know all the people are always being a punk and all this stuff like that. Nigga, yes. I will tell y'all when I will punk out on some shit, because it's like, I don't want no problems, man. Nah, because they don't play. They don't play, man, at all. I'm not trying to end up in nobody's I ain't trying to end up in American prison. So you best believe I ain't trying to end up in nobody's non-American prison. Shit. Yeah, in them countries where you guilty till proven innocent, like, nah, playboy. I learned my lesson, yeah, when I got extorted by the cops on the way down here. Shit, I feel like I'm saying too much there. I think, you know what? That's enough right there. I don't remember nothing. You know, I got this PTSD, a little bit of dab of CT. What cops? Shit. All right, what else we got? But it's I guess the hot thing now on the other side is to talk about how they was doing the ICE deportations under Obama, and there was like no problem. Then you had the separations of the families, and all these separations just sound like, once again, them slave separations back in the day. When your family got sold, you're like, damn, dog, shit, my wife is gone like that. How was it? How just imagine being a slave and your wife gets sold. Like, what do you do? Like, do you fuck around? Do you have a post-selling hoe phase? Questions that need answers. If I could only have a time machine and go back and do some news reporting. Let's see what else. Speaking of separations and slavery, kind of reminds me of when I picked up my dog little Thelma. We've been together for how long have me and Thelma been together? Since November 2023. Yeah. End of the year, make it 3 years. And I got her, because I was thinking about getting a dog, I was depressed, and I was dealing with an ex of mine. Like, she was cheating on me with her boyfriend, but of course she wasn't gonna leave him. And so I caught feelings, dumb shit. But catching feelings, and I was like, oh, you're not spending enough time with me. It's like, I was like, damn, really? I kind of look back at some of my situations. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck wrong with you, dog? Like, she was in a relationship, she had a daughter, and she had a full-time job, and she had a dog. Like, I was only gonna get leftovers. But yeah, I was like, you know what? Let me go and get a dog. And they had free adoptions, and I went down there, and it was funny because I'll never forget. I was on the left side, and there was one dog. He was being way too loud, just barking way too much. I was like, "Hey, partner, if you don't calm down, man, you're not gonna be leaving this shelter." And then on the right side, there was that would be the side that my dog Thelma was on, and went down there. It was two black dogs. So Thelma, she had a sister. So Thelma, her slave name was Darcy, and her sister's slave name was Dorothy. And so I pick out Thelma. Yeah, I be thinking, like, when they separated the two of them, they were doing the color purple. Me and you will never part, Marquita. But yeah, they let me and her be in this room together, and man, Thelma, she has gotten way better. But when I first got her, man, she was traumatized, and she had like serious anxiety, and I was trying to play like Andre 3000 flute album to calm her down. But yeah, man, she I ended up taking her, separated, like some white people. I separated her from her family, and took her home with me, and she tried to run away. First week I got her, when she was trying to run, but I was like, nah, you staying with me. But yep, me and my dog. What else do I want to talk about? Sean Grayson, boycotts, and look, people are boycotting shit. Like, I saw people are trying to boycott Chipotle. I'm like, if it wasn't for, like, you remember when Chipotle was killing people? Maybe I remember that. Yeah, man, people was dying because of Chipotle. I guess that's what they were saying. I don't know. I can't verify shit. But now I guess Chipotle gave ICE a bunch of money, and I'm all like, damn, dog. Do you want your workers to get snatched up that bad? And people are like, oh yeah, we're boycotting Chipotle and all this or whatever. And like, when it comes to these boycotts, like, yo, we've all got blood on our hands. We've all, if you order anything, like if you order anything from Amazon, you got blood in your hands. It'd be bitches talking about boycotting Chipotle, but they order from Shein. And I know somebody will be like, oh, why, how can you connect those? I'm like, it's just everything's connected. We're all connected. We're all one. All right. We got all of us got blood on our hands. And it's a battle of who's got the least amount of blood. And it's stressful. Like, that's a big reason why I just had to get out of the United States. I just need to get out of there and get away from that United States mindset, because it's like it turns into, and I'll see it. I see it on Facebook, and here and there. It's like, if you support ICE, if you're MAGA, if you support Trump, if you like, you're just unfriend me. Don't be my friend anymore. Like, all right, if that's how you feel, I'm not taking the time to click the unfriend button. You do that shit. There you go. But it's not healthy to have just friends that are just think the same way as you. It's like, no, it's not cool. It's not. it doesn't stimulate your mind, man. You learn so much when you talk to people with different backgrounds, viewpoints, and it's all like, yo, as long as you're not forcing me to try to believe the way you think, then it's all good. But that's just me. I remember when dog, I went to this. She was my homegirl at the time, and she invited me to. It was a barbecue at her house, and I showed up with my MAGA hat, but I decorated it like I put art on it, whatever. And I got there, and she had her white homegirl friend there too, and I had brought her some art. I was like, here you go. What was even funnier was her. I don't know if they was married yet or engaged or they were dating. They was together and they had a baby together. There we go. And yeah, he answered the door, and I was like, oh, okay. And then so yeah, I get there, go around back, and then old girl is all like, yeah, she's like, you got to take that hat off. No, you can't be in my house with the hat on. It's like, word. I was like, you know what? You could have art. I'm gonna leave. Like, and then what was even more hilarious was like the homegirl, she wasn't even really tripping like that. Like she just, I don't know, maybe it was awkward for her. But I don't know. Part of me wondered as I was leaving, I wanted to ask out loud, did your husband know you sucked my dick? On some petty bullshit. Yeah, that was one of my oh girl, let me see. Yeah, how'd I know her? From we knew each other from Twitter, like my early Twitter days. Back like when I was at Fort Carson, I think that's when we came across each other. And then I moved to Atlanta, and she was a single mom. She was doing a lot. She was in nursing school and shit like that. And she wanted something serious. And me and serious anything, when the only thing I was doing seriously was school, and I was barely taking that serious. I was just there for the check. But yeah, she wanted something serious. And then, but I knew like she liked the nigga and shit like that. And I remember she got mad at me one time, or I don't know if she was really mad or whatever, because I was getting a sleeve tattoo, and I missed her birthday party. Like, she'll get shit done. But one night, she got weak, but she was on her period, and she was all like, she sucked my dick right there in the kitchen, and then I went on my merry way. And we would send each other news here and there, but nothing ever came out of it. I would just, sometimes I'd be her. She would vent to me about her baby daddy and shit. I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to fuck, but I'll listen. But yeah, that's another reason why I needed to take a break from black people. Like I moved to the southwest side of Mexico because like mainly black people moved to Mexico City or Playa del Carmen. It's funny because Ye will be in Mexico City. By the time this comes out, the concert will probably be happening or whatever. We'll see when I feel like editing this shit. But yeah, it's not a lot of black people down there. Man, I see some black people randomly here and there. I'm like, oh snap, there we go. See some blacks in the wild. I don't feel like the only time I ever like stopped and had a conversation with one, because like we were gonna spend a long amount of time together. Like one time I was gonna try to pay a bill at the Total Play. Speaking of which, I do need to pay my cable bill. And then I was at another birthday party at the beach. So I was like, hey, well, since you're here, I'm here. Let's talk. But yeah, I needed to just kind of get away, because after living 8 years in Atlanta and 3 years in Houston, it was like that Black people were still learning how to be free. I put it like that. And I've been free mentally for a while now, and so it's just hard to have certain conversations, bring up certain topics, talk about things freely with my own people, dealing with bullshit like I was dealing with the art stuff, the blackball situation, where it was all like I was telling other comedians, I'm like, yo, if they're stopping me from saying what the fuck I want to say, what do you think they're gonna do to your black ass? I'm like, this is some racist ass shit. But nobody wanted to fight with me. And I was like, man, no. And it was crazy. The wildest thing that I saw when I was in Atlanta with a Black person was when I was at the Laughlin Library, and I think it was before either we were sitting shooting the shit, and it was a Black dude, and he had moved from DC, and was he from DC? I can't remember. I think so. But he was about to say something about white people, and before he did, he stopped and looked over his shoulder to see if any white people were around. And I was like, and me and the host both were just flabbergasted. I was like, what the fuck? White man still got a hold on our people like that? And I was like, sure enough. But then I remember it's Atlanta, like it's different. But even still, so it's a lot of bullshit. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to hate my people. I'll leave. I'll remove myself from the situation. And so I was like, let me roll up out of here. And also too, I feel like I come down here and start something that's my own, and start something new, versus like hopping on to, oh, we got this Black event here, we've got this Black thing going on here, and feeling like I gotta attach onto that and then work my way through there and navigate the politics of that. Because when I was living in Atlanta, I felt like a nigger fish in a sea of nigger fish trying to make it to the top. That's how it was, man. But I know I mentioned that Ye will be in Mexico City for a concert. I'm concerted out, man. Or else I fuck with it, I roll, but I'm cool. It's just, yeah, I'm concerted out. Is that this not even a fucking word, but whatever. I've been to too many concerts, like especially, 2014, man. I was just going. I saw Outkast 3 times. I think was it 2013, 2015? Whenever Yeezus came out, I went to the Yeezus tour. Fucking dope, man. That's what made me appreciate Yeezus. I've seen Beyonce at Coachella. Went to a bunch of festivals. Roots Picnic. I think I've done Roots Picnic 3 times. Yeah, I've seen Solange, Naughty by Nature, the Roots Picnics. Pharrell. Speaking of which, Pharrell. We're getting sued by Chad Hugo, man. Sound like they're going through a divorce. But yeah, no, I finally watched the latest Ye doc. And I didn't feel like, I missed, because I didn't see it in theaters. I saw a bootleg copy on YouTube, and I really didn't feel like I missed anything by not seeing it in theaters. I will say I did. I remember when Ye did his Donda rollout in Atlanta, and I was living in Houston at the time. I was like, fuck. But I think, I watched him on TV, but I know if I was in Atlanta, I would definitely have made an effort to go. But yeah, I didn't feel like I missed out on anything. And then being an artist myself, I'm not impressed by people or other artists. I'm impressed by their work, but like their peers are just people to me. I don't put them on any sort of pedestal. And speaking of which, I saw a post talking about, can you forgive Ye? I was like, what? What reality do I live in? I just see shit and I'm like, really? Can you forgive? Yeah, is the fuck? Never mind. Hey, if that's your thing, it's not mine. All right, it's not mine. Can I forgive Ye? Fuck. What has Ye done? Riddle me that, Batman. Um, it's funny too because I got once again I got to be careful of what I got to be careful what I say because fucking censored. But I was watching some videos on Instagram with Young Dolph. That's what I'll say. You know what I'm talking about. not the 20 something Young Dolph. The 1937 version. Yeah, I was his speech, and he was just talking about fuck the outside. We're gonna take care of our own, and these people over here are a problem. He probably was a little too ahead of his time. All right, he was a little too early, man. He was trying to warn y'all. He probably took a little too far, a little too far. Yeah, he wasn't doing nothing like he's doing. You see a certain individual over in the United States over there trying to take Greenland and Canada, and same thing. But unfortunately, like he got the military in the same man. It wasn't. He thought it was as strong, but should have not tried to do some what was it? Forget some universal health care. But yeah, back to the Ye doc, man. He was like, what? So, and then the man had to apologize, right? Made that man apologize because they love to chop the black man's dick off. And it was just interesting watching the Ye doc because watching somebody with bipolar when you got bipolar is it is interesting. Especially when you were spazzing out on Chris Jenner. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Then when he spazzed out on his cousin, because he once again just always funny with Ye. Because he was talking about some shit, trying to do something in Africa or something like that, and then, he brought it was after the whole Trump thing or whatever with the red hat, and you can't bring him, can't bring him up or whatever, and Ye was like, why not? Don't tell me what I can or cannot do, and she was like, but they're threatening our families, and Kim just crying. It's just hilarious, and once again, he just looks like a little boy. And then, man, once I never thought about how tall Ye was until that documentary, and I saw him next to Chris Rock and Diddy, and I know how short them niggas is. And I was like, oh, it makes so much more sense now. Oh, I swear, man, my dad was a short king. Dad was like 5'5", 5'6". Oh, so glad I got my height from my mom's side of the family. Oh man, but my pops, he didn't get the ambition battery put in his bag, because that man could have taken us to the moon, dog. But he just wasn't. He didn't have a Donda West to motivate him. I feel like every black boy needs a Donda. To tell him to somebody or it doesn't have to be a mother or a father or whatever, but somebody that tells you that you can do it. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. If you want to go to the moon, you can do it. If you want to go to Pluto, you can do it. But yeah, and then what else? What were some key moments from that doc? I'm trying to think. The spaz outs, the him basically slurping up Trump. It's like, bruh, you doing a lot, man. Oh, he fanned out on Trump, though. He fanned out. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, the SNL moment, and then Michael Che was over there sounding like a slave, talking about, I gotta work here, man. And as I remember on the internet, people were like saying that, Michael Che, he checked Ye, and it's like, nah, nigga, he sounded like a bitch ass slave. That's what he sounded like. Oh, they gonna make it harder. They gonna make it hard for us now. I gotta work. I gotta show up to these. I gotta come around these white people every day, and they gonna ask me questions on. I gotta answer for you. That once again, that mindset, feeling like you ain't got to answer for all the millions of black people. It's like we still learning how to be free. He was mad because he was talking about you, dog. Directly about you, and then you got Consequence in the corner with the big ass teeth. Oh man, was there anything else? Oh yeah, it's so funny too because I posted something. Yeah, I posted that on Threads. When I posted my Instagram about Michael Che sounding like a slave, and then this one chick that follows me, she was just talking about, oh yeah, he's a fool, and I want to get to a point where I can tell people how I feel in the moment, like right there in the moment. I've done it a few times and it feels good, but a lot of times it feels good, but then it comes with extra bullshit and I just don't feel like dealing with it. And so I'll be quiet on a lot of stuff, but I really want to tell this bitch, like, yo, you calling him the fool, but you in your 40s strung the fuck out on one of my partners as an artist. You strung out over a nigga that don't love you. Oh, my sister in Christ, like she be venting to me about a whole dude. Yeah, I be wanting to say, yo, my sister in Christ, when are you gonna love yourself? But then I have to look at it as, you know what? Maybe everybody don't have to love themselves. Like maybe my thing is too is like, how old is too old to be a bird? How old is too old to be a bird? Because like that's the thing too. I have to give her grace too, because I remember when I engaged in so much bird behavior with them bitches, man. Because once again, I got a lot of feminine tendencies because my mom was in my life, or not. Yeah, she was in my life, but she stayed home with me until I was like 7. So it was me and her watching soap operas and westerns, and then she started working and I was always in chasing my mother's love. So I would chase a lot of love from the women who didn't give a fuck about me. And then finally, that was my narcotic, emotionally unavailable black women. And then I let go of that shit. I was like, nah, man, that's stressful, man. Just at some point, you gotta love yourself. And I don't know. I really just want to cut her off, but she did spend money on some of my music and supports my shit and reposts. So I'm like, all right, you can stick around. We'll see if that still happens if she watches this. Hey, at least, hey, somebody gotta tell you, Shawty. Whether you see it, even if I don't tell you directly, I was just sensitive, dog. You sensitive, So, I will. But I'm about to start wrapping this shit up. Is there anything else? Some football player was wearing some eye black that said "Stop the genocide." Look, nigga, eye black is not gonna stop a genocide. All right, I feel like spreading awareness is just the new. I don't know. People just, it makes them feel better. Whatever helps you sleep at night. I gotta spread awareness. They ain't doing shit. All right, it's not. I hate to break it to you. Let me see. Yeah, because I tend to close. Yeah, last story I got from Iraq, because I'm working on these books about my time in Iraq. Man, my second tour. I think we was there for like 3 weeks. We was like there less than a month, and a soldier went missing, or they said he went missing. We had to look for him. We ended up finding out that he shot himself in a porta-john with his M4. Like he ate a bullet in the porta-john. I was like, what a way to go. And 2, I'm like glad that I didn't find him in the porta-john, because I would have never gone to use a porta-john ever again in life. But like after stuff like that that I've been around or known of and been close to. Like when people talk about their problems to me, like a lot of times I don't give a fuck. Like not to the like I don't give a fuck to a degree that they give a fuck about their own problems. Um and so once again, Shawty, hey, keep being a bird and you keep telling me shit, I'll just probably use it for a song or something like that. But I think that's it. That's all I got, man. That's been another wonderful episode of Life is Funny. And y'all be great. I'm out.